Mattress stitch is a method of invisibly seaming two pieces of knitting. It can be worked in stocking stitch and garter stitch. Lay the two pieces side by side, thread the yarn onto a yarn needle and anchor the two pieces with a simple figure 8 stitch. For stocking stitch, the seam is joined by picking up and sewing the horizontal bars between two columns of V-stitches, close to the edge of the work. Insert the yarn needle under the first two bars of the piece opposite to the needle and draw the yarn through. Find the adjacent two stitches on the other piece and repeat this zigzag motion all the way up the seam. Try to keep the pieces level and don't skip any stitches. The better they correspond, the straighter and more invisible the seam will be. Tighten the yarn every few stitches, and when you reach the top, weave the end into the back of the work and trim any excess. For garter stitch, lay the pieces side by side so the ridges line up. Thread a yarn needle and work a figure 8 stitch to anchor them. Each ridge of garter stitch is made up of a top loop, N-shaped, and a bottom loop, U-shaped. Insert the needle into a U or N-shaped loop on the opposite piece. Whichever you choose will remain the same for this side of the seam. Here a U-shape bottom loop has been selected. Move to the other piece and insert the needle into the opposite shape. Here that's an N shape, a top loop. Double check that the ridges are lining up. Continue zigzagging up the seam, making sure to select opposing loops from each ridge. Tighten the yarn every few stitches, and when you reach the top, weave the end into the back of the work and trim any excess. It's recommended you use the same colour yarn as your project to sew the seam, but it might help to practice with a contrasting colour so you can see your stitches clearly.